Diddy trial. Today, the prosecution gave what I thought was an amazing closing argument where she methodically, fact after fact after fact, it was like another nail in the coffin to P. Diddy's case.
100%. No emotion, doesn't need emotion. They testified emotionally. She just went down the line and just pretty much laid it out for prosecution.
And she laid out all of this amazing evidence for the prosecution that this was sex trafficking. What is sex trafficking? What do they have to prove? They have to prove that there was a commercial sex act which was coerced, forced, there was a threat of physical or non-physical violence.
A payment of money as well, exchanging.
Or anything of value.
Of value,
and
yes.
And any one of these things is enough for there to be a conviction. And they had not just one incident, but they had what sounded like could even be hundreds.
Hundreds, yes.
Of instances.
Yes.
And what the prosecutor said that we both found very poignant was the fact that it doesn't have to be non-consensual all the time. So you could have, this is not an all or nothing situation. You could have a relationship where it's loving, they go out to dinner, there is amazing texts between each other,
right,
saying how much they love each other, but you know what?
Meaning consistency is not key.
If there are instances where he forced her, where he beat her, where he attacked her, and he forced her to have sex with prostitutes or himself, then game over. We've got a conviction for sex trafficking.
Yes.
And there was tons of evidence that the prosecutor recounted today.
Yes, and the atmosphere here today outside the courthouse is bustling.
Mayhem, there was just a fight going on.
Yeah, people just have so many different views, different approaches, different opinions. And tomorrow is defense closing, so it's going to get even a little more chaotic here. Hopefully next week we have the verdict.
I can't wait to see the defense closing arguments, because you know what? She's going to have a lot to undo. And I don't know how she's going to do it, because Cassie Ventura testified that she was beaten, that she was forced to take drugs, and the video that we saw today, the entire video of that hotel,
correct,
it paints the entire picture for the prosecution, in my opinion. Here we have a freak-off going on, where I believe his name was Antoine,
yes,
was in the Intercontinental in Los Angeles. They're in a hotel room, they're having a freak-off, they're breaking for a session, because these go on for hours after hours. And she says, I'm done, I'm out of here.
Yep.
And he's beating her, and he's not letting her leave. So she rushes out without even having time to put her shoes on. She's in the elevator bank, and he comes running after her, naked except for a towel.
Yep.
And he starts kicking her, and he's punching her. And she is able to get on the hotel phone, because she doesn't have her cell phone,
right,
because he took that from
right,
her. And she speaks to the hotel security, who is on his way up, a guy named Ivan.
correct.
So Ivan comes up and rescues her, basically.
Pretty much saves her life. That could have been the day that it was a bad scene.
And the prosecutor did an amazing job of recounting how Sean Combs didn't want anyone to come back into the room to see that Antoine was there. However, this security guard walks back with the towel-clad Sean Combs,
right,
gets to the room. Sean Combs tried to go in. Ivan puts his foot in the
realizes
door,
something's wrong.
Stops, sees Antoine, lets her get her phone, the rest of her belongings, her shoes,
and go.
And then go. But you know what? Do you think it ends there? No. These women, as the prosecution laid out, are slaves. There was not only coercion with respect to kicking and beating and punching and money, but there was also extortion. This line that the prosecutor used, I thought was amazing. He used the freak-offs to extort them to do more freak-offs. For example, Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura were in Cannes together.
Yes.
They're on a yacht. He kicks her off the yacht without her passport. They get in a fight, and then they're on the plane together going home. She, not wanting to be anywhere near him, changes seats. Is able to change seats so she doesn't have to be near him. He
changes his seats,
uses his power to get somebody else to change his seat so that he can now again sit next to her.
And for the next 8 hours on that flight, psychological warfare ensued. Cassie had to watch all of her freak-off videos over and over on the way home.
And he's sitting there with a phone showing freak-off video, saying, everyone's going to see this. Everyone's going to have this. This poor woman, Cassie Ventura, this poor woman, Jane Doe, everything that they went through, I will be dumb shocked if there is any way that this guy gets off, because I see so many avenues for him to be convicted.
I agree. But don't forget, defense-wise as well, they did not bring any witnesses to the stands. I think it was a half hour and they were done. So I want to see what they have tomorrow as well. I think that's so important right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for tuning in. We will be back at the time of the verdict. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. And don't forget to
like, share, subscribe. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Thanks.
Good?